Shabbat Shalom from Temple Concord. It's the summertime and the temperature is up high and all the wonderful summer things are going on. But our Torah portion this Shabbat reminds us of two really important lessons. The first is the story of Pinchas and his zealotry, and more than that though is the story of Zelophehad's daughters. So first we have the story of one who is willing to go to any extreme to make his voice heard. And we know that for some of us that's important and we need to make our voices heard, but there's such a thing as going too far, and Pinchas maybe pushes a little too far and gets rewarded for it. But then along comes Zelophehad's daughters. He dies with only daughters and they say, well, we'd like the inheritance and we'd like to be included. And in this miraculous instant of equality for women, they get, in fact, his inheritance. Put the two together and we find something fascinating. We can be zealots or we can be inclusive, is what the Torah portion seems to say. We can do one or the other. I would argue that there's something beyond that we can be zealots for inclusivity. And in that, the name of the Torah portion, Pinchas, brings me back to a Pinchas I knew, Rabbi Paul Drazen, whose Hebrew name was Pinchas. Paul was a zealot for inclusivity. And though we're now in a period of mourning for him, this Torah portion in so many ways fits who he was and what his legacy is for all of us. If we are zealous in our pursuit of equality for all, inclusion for all, bringing people together, then we take the best part of Pinchas and the best part of Zelophehad's daughters, we marry the two together, and we have a world that is more whole and more complete and more filled with peace. That's what my friend Paul Drazen tried to do, and for me it's one of his enduring legacies. I hope you'll join us for services this Shabbat. Friday evening we are joining together with Temple Adat Yeshurun and Congregation Beth Shalom Chaver Shas for Havana Grilla, which will take place over at Temple Adat Yeshurun. Services will be at 7 o'clock. Dinner precedes that at 6 o'clock. And we hope you can join us for that. Let the Temple office know as soon as you can if you plan to join us for dinner. Saturday morning our services are at 11, preceded of course by Torah study at 10. And next Friday night we have our first outdoor summer service of the season. We'll be at Clark Reservation, and we're pleased and privileged to welcome three interfaith speakers, a tri-faith group. Mohammed Khater from the Islamic Society, Jim Kerwit, who is a part of our congregation but is also a Baptist minister, and Jim Brule, and the three will be in conversation with each other, which promises to be a wonderful conversation and evening for us as we celebrate Shabbat under the stars, and I believe it's a fried chicken dinner, so what could be finer than tri-faith and chicken? Anyway, for now, I hope you enjoy a Shabbat of zealously pursuing inclusion and equality, just as our Torah portion points us to, and as my friend and our friend Rabbi Paul Drazen encouraged us to do. Shabbat Shalom for now. Look forward to seeing you at the temple.